Hey folks and clients, Clint here. Just wanted to make a quick video for you while I'm driving to get a haircut. Actually, I'm gonna brave the fronts of this COVID-19 ridden world and going to attempt to make myself look civilized. This hair doesn't look like it's getting really long because a lot of it's gotten gray and all that business, but yeah, it's definitely in need of a trim. And I thought I would just make a video for you all. I made a second video not too long ago, and it was kind of all over the place, even though I think as of now I haven't even posted it yet, but I really went off on a tangent with it, so I thought I would take the opportunity to focus on a topic, something that some of you folks that are looking for more specific answers might be able to make more use of. So what I'll do is I'll focus more on getting started with training, with physical training, and then maybe even a little bit with diet as well. And I'll go less into the psychology, and I'll save that for future videos. So let's start with training. A lot of people, folks are asking me, hey, what should I be doing? What should I be doing in the gym? And when you're first getting started, it's really pretty simple, because if you are starting from square one and you have, camera dropped a little bit, if you are starting from square one and you are, the proper term is deconditioned, but I don't want to use that term because that sounds kind of negative. So if you are just starting out at the very beginning, then really just about anything that you do is going to be sufficient, assuming that you're doing the right stuff. And the camera keeps dropping down. So, like, for example, a lot of folks, they might have trouble knocking out 5 to 10 push-ups, and that would be enough. But what I recommend people use to start out is just a full body workout. I recommend a person do a full body workout 2 to 3 times a week. And because it's full body, most important thing to be said is that you do not want to do it 2 days in a row. I don't encourage folks do really any type of resistance training on a certain muscle group 2 days in a row, because you make your progress when you're resting. You stimulate your body to make changes. You stimulate your muscles to become more toned and conditioned and even grow when you're working out. But when you are resting, that's when all of the transformations that we want to see takes place. So you want to do a full body workout where you effectively hit every major muscle group in your body. And some folks might ask, well, what does that mean? How do I know that I'm effectively hitting the major muscle groups in my body? And that's perfect, because I'm going to tell you. I recommend starting off, you want to use compound movements. Compound movements are movements that involve 2 or more joints in the body. So basically what that means is it's working more than just one muscle group. One muscle group is considered an isolation movement. But when you do compound movements, a good example of compound movements would be like squats, bench press, dips, pull-ups, seated rows, ones where they're big movements where more than one muscle or more than one muscle group is coming into the game. So I would say you should start off with your leg movement, okay? So, and if you're trying to avoid the outside world, like you're thinking maybe it's not safe for me to go to a gym, I'll tell you stuff that you can do that you can still do at home. Starting off with squats. Now, because I'm driving, obviously I can't demonstrate any of these things, but I recommend doing squats in what's called a 5x5 format. I think I mentioned this in my previous video. You will do 5 sets of 5 repetitions. So like set 1, you will do a squat 5 times. And this is going to be the the method, the structure for your entire workout is this 5x5. Start off with your leg movement. You want it to be a big one, like squats or leg press, which most likely you'll need a machine for that. Or you could do lunges. But if you're going to do lunges, I recommend that you do. You got to do 5 on each side. It's not enough to just do 5 lunges. You end up doing 3 on one side and 2 on another. No, it's got to be 5 on each side, and that will also serve as a as a compound leg movement. So yeah, lunges, squats, leg press, hack squats. Even sissy squats. If for those of you who know what that is. Okay, so that covers legs. Now we move on to upper body. So let's start with upper body in a pushing movement. And a pushing movement, a good example of that would be like a bench press, a machine chest press, incline press, dips, even push-ups. If you're just starting out and you're not able to knock out like a ton of push-ups, like let's say that you max out at 10 push-ups or something like that, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about that or anything. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, and when you're just starting, you might not be able to knock out very many push-ups, and that's there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got to start somewhere, and I started somewhere. I can remember a time where it was really tough for me to crank out 135 pounds on the bench press, which is not a lot of weight at all. So when you do your pressing movement, your pushing movement in upper body, same format, 5x5. You'll do 5 sets of 5 repetitions, and you'll want to make sure that you are exhaling as you push, and then inhaling as you bring the weight down, or bring your body down, as is the case in push-ups. So that's how you'll want to do that. You want slow and controlled movement, and this applies the same for the squats as well. Exhale as you're pushing up, inhale as you're coming down, and for squats, you want to push from your heels. When you're doing you're pushing from your palms on your chest pressing movement, so there's really no variation for that. You want it nice and controlled, nice, slow, controlled movement. I would push out at the same rate that you bring it down. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't bother so much with a pause at the top. And so that'll be a pressing movement. 5 sets, 5 repetitions, and then finally you'll move on to a rowing or a chinning movement, and this will be your upper body pulling movement. And a good example of these would be pull-ups, lat pull-down, seated rows, barbell bent over rows. You can do one-arm dumbbell rows. If you want to leave in a comment section and tell me, yes, hey, I want to see you demonstrate these movements so we know what you're talking about, I am more than happy to do that. But if you want it for right now, you could just Google any one of these terms, and you will be overwhelmed with the amount of the amount of demonstration that you see of these different movements. So with the same thing with a chinning or a rowing movement. 3 seconds in, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 seconds back, 1, 2, 3. Nice controlled movement, nice and even. In this, you'll want to exhale as you're pulling the weight to you, and then inhale as you're bringing it out. Again, we want everything to be nice and controlled. You never want to do any like fast, jerky movements unless you're doing like explosive movements, but that's not what this particular video is about. It's about it's about just getting started. Let's not even worry about too many like definitions and terms. Let's just get started. So nice controlled movements, because if anything is like moving real fast, that opens you up to injury. You can hurt your connective tissue, and connective tissue heals so slowly. And if you're an older guy like me, I just turned 40 earlier this year, If you're an older guy like me, then your injuries recover even slower if they recover at all. I got a few of those that I've had so long I've decided to name them. So again, just to recap, that's a leg pressing movement like squats, lunges, or a leg press. Upper body pushing movement will consist of like push-ups, bench press, dips, or like a machine chest press. And then your chinning or rowing movement can be pull-ups, lat pull-downs, seated rows, or bent over rows. Now, I know for a lot of you who are just getting started, like if you're just getting started, there's a chance that you may, I'm just waiting for my time to go. There's a chance that you may not have reached a level just yet where you can perform pull-ups. So, to do pull-ups, I'm gonna step on that gas there. So, to perform pull-ups, yeah, this is more of an intermediate level, but there are a couple of things that you can do to be able to do them. If you haven't reached a point, you can do them on your own. You can have someone spot you where they stand behind you. You bend your knees, and then you want to cross your feet at the ankle, and then somebody can take hold of your ankles right where you've crossed them, standing behind you, and then they can help you to lift yourself up while you're pulling on the bar to pull yourself up to get your chin just over the bar. And that's like a spotted pull-up. Or if you wanted to buy a resistance band, you can fix a resistance band. You just run it through. You just throw it over the top of the pull-up bar. And I gotta work on that problem. So you just throw the resistance band over the top of the pull-up bar, and then you bring it down, and you just run your feet. Just position your feet. Not your feet. Just one of your feet. Put it through one of the bottom of the band, and then it's basically acting like a giant rubber band that's pulling on the bar, and it's helping you pull yourself up so that you can do a pull-up. And that would be a great way to get started, especially for those of you who are solo artists in this. Very much like myself, I've spent the bulk of my lifting experience without a training partner, and it's been just me. So I've found different ways to work around those different types of problems. So that is pretty much what we have. And if you do this variation of a full body 5x5, those three movements, your upper body pressing, upper body pulling, and a squat, like we talked about, some kind of a lower body pressing movement, you combine those three, you will effectively hit every major muscle group in the body. I guarantee it. Now, you got to remember that you still do have to push yourself. While these methods might be simple, because I'm a big advocate of keeping things simple when it comes to training, simple does not mean easy, okay? Nothing about this will ever be easy, but it can be simple, all right? And so you want to make sure that you're continuing to push yourself. You want to start with a weight that you're comfortable with, maybe warm up with some simple movements like jumping jacks and running in place. Get yourself a good warm up. You don't want to be drenching. You don't want to be drenched in your own sweat. You don't want to be huffing and puffing during your warm up. But just do some movements, some very light stretching, some light calisthenics. Just like I said, running in place, jumping jacks, things like that, just for about 5 minutes. Get yourself good and warmed up. Pick a weight that you're comfortable with, that you feel like, well, that's not so bad. And then just do it. Do your, perform your repetitions, and that'll be your first set of 5. And you want to increase the weight gradually with every set. And you want to increase that weight so that the last set of 5 repetitions that you do, that it's a bit of a challenge. I don't want you to like just just go just all out, because when you push yourself to the extreme like that, that's too much. I find that can scare people away, or people can hurt themselves by pushing themselves too hard in the beginning. So just go gradually, work up to your last set of 5. That it's it's reasonably challenging to do it. You feel like you maybe had about another 15% left that you could have put on, pushing yourself at about 80-85% capacity, and that's what I would go with. I recommend you start with this 5x5, 2 to 3 times a week. You can do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, if you're doing it 3 days a week. If you only want to do it 2 days a week, I would say make it like Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday. Stuff like that. Just don't do a full body workout every day. Unless you're doing a very specific technique that we're not going to get into right now. I think that's too much. That's too often. Remember, we make progress when we are resting, not when we're training. And that's how overtraining can happen, because you don't want to overstimulate the body, because then that can lead to trouble. Okay, so this I feel like this video is a bit more comprehensive, and but also, a good deal more focused. I feel like this is something that you folks can take with you to get started. If you got any questions, please feel free to leave a comment for me in the comment section. Hit subscribe if you like this. Tell me if you want to see more. Tell me what you want to see. Like, hey, I have trouble with this. I'd really like to see a video on how I can address this, or how can I stay focused, whatever. Just tell me anything. All right, folks, I think that'll do it. I'm almost here to the place to get my hair cut, so you guys just stay safe, stay healthy, don't get hurt, don't get injured, and we will see you next time. All right, bye-bye.